Hello, everyone, and welcome to our second video where we're going to be discussing where should I be investing my time outside of school to continue to learn and grow. And so, Harshal, would you kick it off?
Sure. Thanks, Matt. My piece of advice would be to get involved in extracurricular activities. This gives you an opportunity to further develop your social skills, meet new friends, and become more confident in communicating in groups. It's gratifying when we succeed in something we enjoy, especially working hard to achieve it. Also, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations will build a skill set that will make your career a lot easier. In my job, we go from project to project and meet new people all the time. Being in extracurriculars myself, am able to go into those meetings and build meaningful relationships.
Hirsch, I love what you shared, and it's actually a perfect example of what I'd love to talk to you all about, which is the importance of networking and diversifying your network. So I think it's really easy for all of us to get involved in a club or, something social and network within something that makes us feel comfortable, like our peers and our friends. I would love to, share the challenge to think outside of that and network with teachers and professors in college. And then when you get into the workplace, who are those folks, 3 or even 4 steps ahead of you in your career that you can learn from and interact with? I like to think of every person that I meet as a network opportunity. It's one, just really great to hear different perspectives and experiences and get to know each other, but also you never know what those people might come back around later in your career to offer new opportunities or opportunities to grow, opportunities to learn and to contribute to different projects. For example, networking was always a really big piece of my early career development. And honestly, after my first job within SAP, the 3 additional ones I had after that were all based on opportunities or based on me meeting different folks across the organization and working with them even at times when it was on top of my day job. So building those connections, showing your value, sharing that you're just eager to learn about new areas of the business, you really never know what doors it will open. So really think about internally to your organization, externally to your organization, different extracurricular activities that you can get involved in. Regardless of whoever you meet, think of them also as an opportunity to make a connection so that later on you might be able to, do something really great together in the workplace.
That's a really awesome point, Gina. I think, as I've gotten to be an older man, looking back on my high school self, when I was 15, 16, 17, I thought, as long as you got good grades on tests, you did well, like life was just going to work out for you. And, it was kind of like, I just had to look at myself to do it. I trusted myself. And as I've gotten older, you really start thinking about all those different people who have helped you along the way. And those moments when you could have been more proactive and tried to build your network and ask for help and grow your mentor relationships. And looking back on it, like, I had a bunch of friends in high school, fortunate enough that we all got jobs right out of school and we all kind of started pushing each other to do better and to learn more and to get promoted. And I just, I find myself now a few years after that looking back, and it's like if 1 or 2 of them, hadn't had a job or weren't as motivated as the rest of us, right? And we kind of all push each other together as a group. So to me, is if I could go back to my high school self and just kind of have that chat, it's, the common goal in this of success and your whole friend group, it's hugely important that number one, you carry all of each other together. And if there is someone who isn't trying to be successful or going down the wrong path, like it may be time, and it's a difficult message, but there are just some times in life, and it becomes easier as you get older, but there are some times in life that you just have to stop that relationship or you move on and you have to realize what your own goals are and what success means to you. And if that person's not in that path, or other people who are super successful, you want to chart your course down that path, right? And definitely looking back, right, it's, you know, you can do so much, and your success and your intelligence and your drive goes only so far. And it really is that network that Gina just talked about that really pulls you farther and catapults you to the next level.
Yeah, that's a great point, Nick. And I'd say, kind of wrapping the three of those into one, I'd say it's really important to find something that you're passionate about. You know, an extracurricular that you're passionate about, and it can be something completely off the beaten path. It really doesn't matter what it is, right? Yeah, I had friends in college actually who were super into fencing, right? Like the sport with the swords, right? Like I don't know anyone else who does fencing, but they were super into it. And what that did was, one, they were super passionate about it. And so they naturally enjoyed their time in that group. They naturally ended up taking a leadership position in the group, which is developing yourself more. And then when it comes time to talk about your experience, you have something that you can really speak to, and what people are going to see, even if they have don't know anything about it, right? Like I don't know anything about fencing, but just the excitement that they talk about that activity, and they can show that growth and development because they were so passionate about it, that speaks volumes to future employers, and it gets them engaged in a really good conversation where ultimately, specifically in interviews, you end up talking about your favorite subject the whole time, and they forget to ask you questions. It's great. Absolutely. And so find something that you're passionate about. It really doesn't matter what it is, but find it and stick to it and get involved in it. And so I'd like to wrap this up, I guess, with a quick lightning round, a for fun lightning round on what was your extracurricular activity in high school?
My extracurricular activity in high school was actually the band. I was part of marching band and concert band, and that really did get me out of my comfort zone in learning a new instrument, but also performing in front of people.
So for me, I would say it was cheerleading. I was a cheerleader since I was 5. Couldn't take that with me now, but the other one that was always a very big piece of my life was the community engagement and volunteering piece, which very happy to say that that's still a very active part of my life now.
For me, I would say, and I did this only 1 year as a freshman, and I would love to go back and just kick myself for stopping it, but I did a coding extracurricular as a freshman. And it was like me and probably 7 of like the nerdiest people at the school, quote unquote, and I stopped it after a year because it was too difficult for me. And you know, I just kind of felt it didn't really resonate because I played basketball in high school. And if I could go back in time, like that was probably one of the worst decisions I've ever made. So, you know, take a class that you think people look at you weird. Like take something that's interesting, but your friend group doesn't do it. You know, if I could again go back, branch out, do something different, build your network where it's completely in a sphere that your entire friendship group has never been.
Absolutely.
Awesome. I was actually a musical theater kid. So I did the shows in high school, which I loved. It was great. You get to be someone else on stage. So I didn't think of it as me being on stage in front of people. It was me getting to act as someone else, sing as someone else. And it actually did a lot for me in terms of just giving me more courage and for public speaking as well. So thank you so much for joining us on this video, and watch our third one.